I never thought I'd say this, but this should have been the Z Fold 6. And what is this? It's the Z Fold Special Edition. Let's go. I don't normally make these types of videos, but in this case, I will make an exception. This is the Galaxy Z Fold Special Edition, and I've only had a short time with it, but so far, this should have been the Z Fold 6, and I'm not even going to apologize for it. There's a number of reasons why I believe that. Let's dive deeper into the reasons why I think that along the course of this video. So, first thing was it got delivered about 2 hours ago, not even that. And I was just so excited to unbox it because I knew it was a different style of unboxing, and I was not wrong. First of all, the first thing you notice is the box that it comes in. This one is unbelievable. Reminds me of the old Galaxy Fold unboxing, the first one that came out. Let's take a bit of a look and a listen at the unboxing of the Z Fold SE. There is nothing more satisfying than peeling away the plastic. But for me, the fact that you get everything in the box, you get the charger, you get a case, and you get everything else alongside the phone. Such a good throwback. And really, it should be the way it is. I compared it to the Z Fold 5 box, the retail box that I have. And man, you can see such a large difference in what we get now with an unboxing versus what we should be getting, which is what the Fold Special Edition provides. I was so excited unboxing it. I put a little camera to record my reaction. For me, it just kind of took me back to when the original Fold came out. It was like Samsung were trying again. And I'm not saying that they aren't trying to make and innovate. What I'm saying is they're now kind of taking a different path with their releases. So it's nice to be reminded of what they are capable of with a phone like this. Let's break down the design first. The first thing I notice is incredibly how much thinner this is over the Fold 6. It's 10.9 millimeters thin in the hand, and that definitely is noticeable straight away. The fact that it's not taking up as much hand real estate in here is actually really comfortable. And whilst it's pretty much the same weight as the Fold 6, it does actually make it feel lighter and lesser in the hand, which again is kind of that pathway to making it feel like a normal phone. Like, it's crazy how thin this feels. And I know there's thinner foldables, but I haven't felt them. Like, you can look down the spine of the hinge across both the Fold Special Edition and the Fold 6, and this hinge just looks crazy thin. It doesn't look real, and that's nice. The other thing that's incredibly noticeable straight away is the extra width. This is, for all intents and purposes, a normal smartphone on the front. It's not even compromised or narrowed in any way. This is a 6.5 inch 21:9 smartphone plastered here on the front. It maybe is a slightly taller aspect ratio compared to something like the S24 Ultra, but the extra width is noticeable in the hand. It doesn't stop it from going and like reaching the other corners depending on your hand size, but I actually like that Samsung still have the slim bezel and the hinge barely protrudes out from the side at all. So you've basically got the screen real estate and nothing else on the front. Other foldables, and in particular the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, has that extra bit of width on the hinge and the bezels, which means you're holding more phone, less screen. This is the opposite. Before I move on, there's someone I need to thank for this Fold Special Edition, and that's Michael from Average Dad. Average Dad is another fellow YouTuber, so it's nice to see the YouTube community helping and supporting each other. So I want to repay the favor. Michael from Average Dad has the Average Dad tech store. And on this website, he sells phones that you cannot get in markets such as Australia. This is not available to purchase in Australia, but it is if you get it through the Average Dad tech store. He's given us some special deals and discounts. Check the link in the description below for the code to use. I'll also chuck it on the screen here. Enter it at checkout to save yourself some money, and you can get yourselves a Z Fold Special Edition or other foldables or other devices that you might not be able to get in the country that you live in. Thanks, Average Dad. Check his YouTube channel in the link as well in the description too. The other parts of the design that's not really, I guess, part of a foldable design is the ribbed back for pleasure. It's actually, I think, really nice and differentiates it from the standard Fold 6, which is a matte glass finish. It's really an aesthetic thing. It does feel a little bit different in the hand, almost a little bit grippier, but outside of that, that's all it really does. The other sort of design difference before we open this thing up is the camera module is huge. And I'll talk about the camera and my first impressions of it in a little bit. I am going to take it out and about this afternoon before I put this video up so I can sort of show you some of the photos that I might be able to get when I'm out there. Now, opening this thing up and diving into the 8-inch internal display is where you can sort of see another bit of a difference with this phone. It's wider and taller than the Fold 6 when it's open. So you're not actually getting that sort of more compact tablet foldable. You are literally getting like a mini tablet that is basically the same size, at least in screen real estate, to an iPad mini, which is crazy. It doesn't seem like it's too big. I, in the past, have liked Samsung's approach with the Fold 6, and you get used to that, but this is just a different take on it. The thing is, just speaking off the top of my head, I don't think the Fold 6's form factor should disappear, because I think there is absolutely a place for that narrow cover display with that internal display that you get alongside it. But I also think this should exist too. So I think Samsung will probably have a bit of a decision to make next year, whether they release just one or whether they do bring in the second globally. Let's carry on. The internal display too is revolutionized in that there's no crease. I'm not kidding. There is no discernible, at least on first glance, crease. Looking down the line of this thing, holding it up to the light, you don't see it. And it's because Samsung are using that new display technology. And look, the crease kind of disappears on the older phones, but it's the one question you get asked when you show it to people is, what about this crease? Whereas I don't feel like people will ask that here, because on most glances, in most angles, you don't even notice it. And even running your finger across it, you don't actually feel it. It's like Samsung have just completely flattened it out. How that will work over time, that will be something I will let you know. I'm planning on keeping a hold of this phone for a while, so I'll make sure I let you know how that sort of pans out. And then the other change is, whilst it looks like there is some pixels covering the under display camera, the under display camera is not under display. Samsung have kind of exposed it all the time. It is using the same camera though as the Z Fold 6, so I don't know why that is. Anyway, let's jump now to check out the cameras and take a look at some of the first samples that I'm able to get from the Fold Special Edition. So I've just spent some time shooting with the cameras. The main update is that the main camera is now a 200 megapixel camera, similar to the one that we see on the Galaxy S24 Ultra. But in my usage, I discovered another change. Samsung have snuck in the focus enhancer feature, which means they've updated the ultra wide camera to have dual pixel autofocus, which means macro photography on a foldable. Testing this out outside, you get close to something, focus enhancer turns on. You can of course just manually switch to the ultra wide camera to get in close and do ultra wide macro shots. You can see some of the ones that I've taken up here of this nice furry tennis ball. But the fact that focus enhancer turns on when you get close to something means that Samsung have updated 2 cameras on this, not just one, which is great. In terms of the other photos that I've taken, so far I've really just looked at them on the phone, and dynamic range has been excellent, detail superb. It feels like a fully fledged flagship camera. You let me know about yourself. The main thing I really want to test in my longer term, and especially with the comparison, is the bigger sensor will give you a depth. The main thing I want to check when I compare to the Fold 6 is that the larger sensor is bigger, so it should give a shallower depth of field. I did use portrait mode, but that obviously is artificial bokeh, And you can see the 1 and the 2 shots here of my daughter. Quite cute, riding her bike. Video is a very similar sort of thing that I plan to sort of test a bit more thoroughly. Again, very, very early hands-on, but of course, I'm going to spend way more time with it and compare it much deeper. So, what do I think? Well, based off the very, very early look at this, I am in love. I've never been this excited for a smartphone in years. I know I get really excited about Samsung products in general, and sometimes to the detriment of people watching. They want me to be a bit more balanced, but I think when you get something new from Samsung, something that they haven't done yet, and it reminds you of what they're good at, it's really refreshing to see. So what's next? Well, I've put my SIM card in here, and I've smart switched from my second phone, which was the S24 Ultra, to the Fold Special Edition. What does that mean? It means I'm going to be putting this day to day up against this, the Fold 6. And a full comparison between these two is coming about what it's like to use day to day independently, and I guess alongside each other. Make sure you hit subscribe to that. Please go visit Average Dad's store and his YouTube channel. He reviews devices like this from markets that usually get forgotten about on YouTube. Really nice to see, and I'll see you guys in the next one. You!